Ever thought about how wild dating is these days? I lucked out. I met my husband at 18, but if you're in the dating game right now, let me introduce you to The League. The League is a premium dating platform that puts quality before quantity. If you're busy, ambitious, and tired of swiping through an endless stream of filtered faces, then it is perfect for you. A few months ago, I interviewed Amanda Bradford, the founder and CEO of The League, and I had such a fun time talking to her about the app and how unique it is. First up, not just anyone can join. You've got to apply and get accepted, so you'll be part of a highly engaged and safe community of like-minded, goal-oriented people like you. And instead of swiping endlessly, The League sends you personalized daily recommendations of the most compatible matches. It's like having a personal dating assistant. Now, The League isn't for casual flings or social climbers. It's for genuine folks with big dreams, career goals, and a real drive to find a meaningful long-term relationship. If you're ready to ditch dating frustration, download The League and apply today. Message #GoalDigger to your in-app concierge to jump to the front of the line. You could use a store like Shopify. That's what we use and love. But again, low startup costs, you can get good rewards, and you can start to really get valuable insight as to what your audience, even if it's really small, is willing to spend money on. I'm Jenna Kutcher, your host of the Goal Digger podcast. I escaped the corporate world at the age of 23 with nothing more than a $300 camera from Craigslist and a dream. Now I'm running a 7-figure online business that feels even better than it looks, all from my house in small town Minnesota with my family. Here, we value time as our currency. We mix the woo and the work, and we are in the pursuit of building businesses that give us the freedom to live lives that we love. I've always loved turning big goals into reality, and I'm here to help you do the same. This isn't just a peek behind the curtain. Come along with me and my guests as we tear the whole curtain down. Every week, we tackle practical, no-fluff marketing strategies and host honest discussions on what works and what doesn't. Join me and my expert guests for actionable insights to help you grow your dream business with confidence. Pull up a seat and get ready to be challenged, inspired, and empowered. This is the Goal Digger Podcast. I think just about everyone and their mother knows the story of Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs starting Apple Computer Co. from Jobs' parents' garage. But did you know that they're not alone in the list of billion-dollar companies who started with little to no investment? Walt Disney, Hewlett-Packard, Mattel, Papa John's, It Cosmetics, Spanx, Kendra Scott, and so many more household names were all founded on a tight budget and a good idea, proving that you don't need investors to start something amazing. You just need creativity, passion, and the willingness to take one step at a time. If you've ever felt the tug to start your own business, but you worried about the startup costs, or you're wanting to expand your business or start a new side hustle, then this episode is for you. I'm about to give you 10 fresh business ideas that are perfect for anyone looking to make a big impact with a small investment. I even think that some of the best business ideas don't require a ton of money to get off the ground. It is possible to dream big without spending big, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. Let's dive on into 10 businesses you can start with low startup costs. Let's dive on in. More to-dos, less time, and an infinite number of tools to keep track of. Goal diggers, do you ever feel like doing business has never felt harder? Well, the good news is you don't need a miracle to hit your goals. You just need HubSpot. Their all-in-one customer platform can make growing your business so much easier. Imagine this: high-quality leads, fast-closing deals, wildly happy customers, and more benchmark-breaking quarters. It's not a miracle, it's HubSpot. Visit HubSpot.com to get started today. That's HubSpot.com. About a year ago, I did an episode. It was episode number 658, and it was 10 small business ideas so you can work from home. And it was one of our top downloaded episodes ever. I think people these days really want to have that freedom and flexibility, and they also want to find a career that gives them both of those things. And so today I wanted to take a little bit different of a spin and talk about businesses that have low startup costs. So if you are someone who wants to start a side hustle or maybe add an extension onto your current business, business. You want to make more money, but you don't want to have to put a lot into it to get it off the ground. This episode is for you. I am the queen of bootstrapping. I bootstrapped my entire business with nothing more than a $300 camera from Craigslist and built everything along the way. And so I know that feeling, and I want to share some ideas and stories that might inspire you today. So one of the first businesses that you can start with very little, I would argue minimal startup costs, is a virtual assistant business. I will never forget when I hired my first virtual assistant. Her name was Caitlin. I tell the story in my book, but she literally reached out 3 different times before I finally hired her. I was a solopreneur. I was white knuckling my entire business. I was someone operating from this idea of I've got this. I don't need any help, until Caitlin reached out and I was finally able to admit, OMG, I need a lot of help. Caitlin came into my business, and I'll never forget the first time I sat down with her, she asked for my Gmail password. Not only was I embarrassed to give it to her because I had no system or structure, but I was also afraid. I was like, what if she says the wrong thing? Or what if she doesn't do it in the way that I would do it? I had a lot of control issues, which I think a lot of entrepreneurs do. But it was so funny because after 1 week of having her working for me, responding to my clients happily, taking care of some of the things that I had been marking unread, and cleaning up my inbox, I was ready to give her full access to anything she ever needed. It was such a weight off my shoulders. And I realized that any response is better than no response. And at the time, I was so overworked and overwhelmed that I couldn't even look at my inbox. And so it totally cracked open this new stage of business where I am happily asking for help and paying people to help me. And so if you are someone who wants to step in and assist somebody, a virtual assistant job can encompass so many different things. And so for me, Caitlin first started in my inbox, and she worked with me for years and years and years. And over time, her role kept changing. She went from being a virtual assistant, checking emails, to helping me create courses, to kind of being our course liaison. And so it was amazing to see that she was able to kind of climb up the ranks. Her salary significantly changed over the years. And what started as something that felt small and part-time turned into an amazing full-time position. And so if you're wondering like, okay, well, what is a virtual assistant? Or if you hear people talk about a VA, a virtual assistant is a self-employed worker who provides administrative services to clients, usually remotely and usually from home. Now, VAs can work anywhere from part-time to full-time for companies of all sizes and industries. And what's interesting is that every VA position can look a little bit different depending on your employer and their needs. Some of the common tasks that VAs do include scheduling, email management, research, project management, travel planning, graphic design, bookkeeping. If you're worried, like, I don't know how to do all those things, you get to create the VA position of your dreams, saying, here's what I'm really good at and here's what I would love to do. We've had VAs help with inbox management. We've had people do proofreading. We've had different VAs do research. So like there are so many different zones that you could find yourself in. Now, according to ZipRecruiter, the average salary of a VA in June of 2024 is around $50,000, with the top earners making around $65,000. So that means the average hourly wage is between $20 to $30 per hour. Now, this might be a really good startup for you if you are proficient with your computer, if you enjoy organization and attention to detail, if you can communicate well and have interpersonal skills, and if you are driven enough to work from home and to kind of be your own boss. Literally, all you need to get started is a computer, an internet connection, and any software that you might need for specific tasks that you plan to do. But a lot of times too, your employers will literally provide you with the tools that you need to do the job that you need to do. My current VA, Steph, I think she's been with me for like 7 or 8 years. She is incredible. If you've ever emailed me, you've heard from Steph. And so this is such a crucial role on a company. And a lot of times entrepreneurs are so good at their craft, but they're terrible at organization and management. And so that's where you get to like step in and save the day. So if you've never considered being a VA, this is your invitation to do so. Okay. The next job that you can start with little to no startup costs is getting into like event planning or even wedding planning. So here's a quick story. When I had my mastermind for 1 year, and we had 3 different events, and they were multi-day events where we had to coordinate lodging and meals and, some of the activities and all these different things. And I remember talking to my mom about like, okay, here's the vision for the masterminds. Here's what we need to do. And I'm going to hire an event planner. And my mom was like, wait, like I can do that. I'll do that for you. And it was an amazing way for my mom to support me, but also for us to financially support my parents. And so my mom joined my team that year, and she planned all of our 3-day events for our mastermind. And she did such an amazing job. And now my mom has a background in nursing, so not exactly event planning, but she's always been really organized. She was able to kind of see the vision. She was really cognizant of people's needs and matching them. Like she just did such an incredible job. And it was so fun because then my mom got to come on the trips with us and be a part of it. And so if you are someone who loves events and things like that, this could be an amazing way for you to start assisting companies that need help planning events. Or if you went into like the world of wedding planning or things like that. Again, I'm from the wedding world, so I know that world really well. So obviously what it is an individual who plans and coordinates events such as weddings, corporate gatherings, parties, and more. Here are some stats that might be interesting. So the events industry is absolutely booming post-pandemic. So think about it. The world was closed for a few years. All events were put on hold. Now that in-person events are having a big return, there's a huge demand for event planners to plan all of the events. According to Glassdoor, wedding planners make anywhere from $53,000 to $96,000 per year, especially if you specialize in high-end weddings. So that's a pretty big range there. Now, this is for you if you are a people person, if you have amazing communication skills, if you are a visionary that you can see a plan come to life. You need to be very organized. You need to be a problem solver and a good communicator. And here again, you need a computer, an internet connection, a website host, and a car to get to and from each event. And I would argue that the events that I have worked with great planners, the entire event runs so differently than when someone is trying to do it themselves. And if you've ever planned an event, even like a child's birthday party, you know that you are the one micromanaging all the details. You're not like fully present and fully engulfed in the experience. And so having someone step in to help with that can totally change the experience, not just for everyone attending, but also for you. And so something to consider and a great way to step in and assist companies that are excited about having events again. Let's talk real life for a sec. Okay, you know those marathon work days where you're hustling from one meeting to the next, and by the time you go to grab a coffee with a client or hug your partner, you're wondering if your deodorant is still going strong? Yeah, we've all been there. Luckily, Lumi Whole Body Deodorant is making sure we never have to worry about BO again. Unlike other deodorants, Lumi uses mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts, giving you up to 72 hours of odor control. Lumi was actually created by an OBGYN who saw how common BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. Now, fast forward 6 years, and it has over 300,000 5-star reviews. What I love about Lumi is that it's safe to use anywhere on your body, your pits, feet, under boobs, thigh folds, and even those sensitive areas. As someone who loves to work up a sweat and spends time in the sauna daily, I need something that will keep up with me. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off of their starter pack. Use the code GOLDDIGGER for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. That's code GOLDDIGGER at LUMEDEODORANT.com. A few years ago, my LinkedIn profile was dormant, and now I am amazed at the meaningful connections and opportunities on the platform. LinkedIn Ads gives you the power to connect with your ideal customers and create meaningful relationships that drive real results. With 1 billion members, including 180 million senior level executives and 10 million C-level executives, LinkedIn gives direct access to decision makers in a respectful environment. With LinkedIn Ads, you get results plain and simple. They've built targeting and measurement tools specifically especially for B2B. It's no wonder 79% of B2B content marketers say LinkedIn produces the best results for paid media. For business to business marketers, LinkedIn is the sharpest blade in the Swiss Army knife of social media. When you think about it, Instagram and Facebook are where people just want to have fun. But LinkedIn users are actively making professional decisions. They're looking to buy, so they're open to business discussions and connections. And also, LinkedIn is super welcoming for direct messages. On Instagram, sending DMs can send off an intruder alert, but people on LinkedIn expect and even appreciate professional outreach. I guarantee there is no better platform to spend your B2B ad budget. Make B2B marketing everything it can be and get a $100 credit on your next campaign. Head to linkedin.com/goal to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/goal. Terms and conditions apply. Okay. The next business that has really low startup costs, and I have experience in it, is drop shipping. So what is drop shipping? Drop shipping is selling products online without having to hold an inventory, meaning you don't have to invest your money in getting an inventory and then hoping it sells out. Basically, when you make a sale, you purchase the item from a third party, which then ships it directly to the customer. So again, really, really low stakes here. So here's how I did this. Back in the day, I was really burnt out from wedding photography. I picked up some watercolor paint that I'd gotten from my mother-in-law, who was an art teacher, and I was just painting to decompress, to kind of heal my burnout. But that painting very quickly turned into a side hustle because I started scanning my paintings and listing them on a website called Society6. Society6 can take your artwork or your creations and literally turn it into like basically anything: a mug, a shower curtain, a rug, a phone case. And so I started selling my watercolor prints on Society6. I didn't have to have any inventory. All I had to do was create the art once and upload it. And then basically they took care of the rest. And very quickly, I was able to earn enough money to pay our entire home mortgage. Like it started as like, oh, here's a couple extra $100 a month, into like, this is an actual thing that is helping fund our lives. And so it can be an amazing way. And the cool thing is that when you make a new piece and you upload it, the greatest risk is just your time, right? You're not really risking, am I going to invest in 1,000 pieces of inventory and then nobody actually wants it? Now I'm sitting on inventory and I need to get it out and I've already invested a lot of money. And so it's really just a trading time for money type game, but like there's not a lot of risk involved. Get this. Did you know that according to a case study by Analyzify, drop shipping accounts for 23% of all online sales in the e-commerce industry? Plus, drop shippers typically earn 20 to 30% profit from each sale. So successful drop shipping companies can make $50 to $5,000 in daily profits. So you could either be the drop shipper or you could create something and sell something and have it drop shipped. There's like two sides of the coin for you. So this might be a really good fit for you if you like to stay on top of trends, if you're a first-time entrepreneur because of the low risk factor, or if you're interested in things like SEO or social media marketing. Drop shipping can also be a great addition to your existing business because once you get it set up and running, it's very low maintenance to keep it going. All you need to get started is a computer, an internet connection, and a website host. Now, one of our most downloaded episodes of 2023 was Chelsea and Steven Diaz of the Rainmaker family. In their episode number 733, they teach you how to drop ship. That episode is called "This Family is Making Thousands in Passive Income. Here's How." The link for this episode will be in the show notes, along with where you can learn more about their step-by-step process. Again, that's jennakutcher.com/rainmakerfamily if you want to learn more about how they do it, or go back to episode 733. We talk about drop shipping, and we even talk about some ideas that I had from that conversation. Okay, number 4 is one of my favorites, of course, online courses or coaching. So I have been obsessed with online courses for about a decade, and I actually started mentoring first one-on-one with other photographers in Wisconsin, and then eventually ended up creating online courses. I can't believe that I've been teaching online courses for almost a decade. But basically, if you don't know about the online course world, I'd be shocked, but it's a popular business model that has really low startup costs where you can create an offer or have coaching services in areas like fitness, nutrition, mental well-being, business, marketing. I mean, I would argue there are online courses for everything. I would know because I've taken some very interesting ones. There's sourdough bread courses, gardening courses, sleep training courses, weight loss courses. Like, basically anything out there, there's probably an online course for it, which tells us that the online course world is a place where you could totally offer your skills and expertise. Coaches charge on average $244 per hour, which is a 9% increase since 2019. So as you can see, this industry is only going up. Now, this is a great fit for you if you have a specific skill set or you are super knowledgeable in a particular area that you want to teach others in. You don't have to be this perfect expert. You just need to be one step ahead of your client. Over the years, I have recorded tons of episodes about how to add online courses into your existing offers. I'm going to link up a bunch of them in the show notes. Some of my recent faves are episode 702, What No One Tells You About Online Courses, and episode 705, Exposing All the Reasons Why You Haven't Created a Digital Course Yet, with my friend Amy Porterfield, who is the queen of online courses. But maybe you haven't thought about how you have a special skill set or a transferable knowledge base that could be shared about in an online course. One thing that I would recommend considering is doing one-on-one coaching to kind of get your feet wet and to figure out the system and the structure of how you would want to teach it to a more mass audience, mass meaning anywhere from 5 to 10 to thousands. And so that one-on-one coaching can be a great way to really understand what your system and strategy is, what questions people have, and how you would guide them to their greatest answers and results. Okay, number 5 is personal services. Okay, so what do I mean by personal services? So personal service workers help people who are unable to perform certain tasks or are outsourcing certain tasks. This could be because they're too busy, maybe they're ill. This includes chef, trainer, caregiver, organizer, dog walker, house cleaner, interior decorator, house sitter. There are so many different personal services that you could offer where you live. Let me tell you a quick story. One of my favorite personal services ever. And if somebody in the Duluth, Minnesota area wants to take this idea, I will be your first customer. So when we used to spend a lot of time on the island of Maui, we were a part of a CrossFit community. And there was one woman, Allie, who was in the CrossFit community. And every week she would take orders and bake people like really healthy paleo, amazing food, and then bring it into the gym. And then she started offering these personal services. And so when we would get to the island, Allie would go grocery shopping for us, bring the groceries back to our condo, cook and prepare 5 different meals for the week, leave instructions for how to prepare them, like put this in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. And then she would clean our entire kitchen. So she would use all of our own utensils, all of our own Tupperware. Like she didn't have to have anything. She just needed her time and her talent in creating the food. And she would have different recipes every week. It was honestly the best thing we ever did. And if you've ever gone out to eat on Maui, you know how expensive it is. And so it ended up saving us so much money, but it also saved us so much time and it helped us eat healthier while we were on the island. It was the most genius business idea ever. Because we just paid her for our groceries and then paid her for her time. And it was worth every penny. I would do anything to find somebody in Duluth, Minnesota that does this, because this was like the best example of someone who is literally starting their business, using their skill set, creating healthy meals for us, saving us so much time and energy. It was just, it was worth it all around. And I just absolutely loved it. So according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, overall employment in personal care and service occupations is projected to grow faster than the average for all occupations from 2022 to 2032. Like this is the area where people need help. And what's so cool is that for personal services, people are making well over minimum wage. For example, caregivers make on average $16 per hour. House cleaners make on average $17 per hour. So if this is your zone of genius, this could be a great supplemental income or full-time work. Think about what you can do for someone else or something that you love doing: closet organizing, food prep, dog walking, house sitting. Like there's so many different ways. So this job might be for you. Obviously, if you like working with people in person and if you have an interest or a skill set in one of these areas. And based on what you need to get started, this depends on obviously which service you offer. You might need supplies, like a house cleaner will need cleaning supplies. A chef might need kitchen utensils, for example, and a car to get to and from your client's house. But think through this. I think a lot of people, especially busy entrepreneurs that are in a place where they can outsource, there are so many different areas where people need help outsourcing, and you could totally fill that gap for someone. Number 6, low startup costs, great return, affiliate marketing. Okay. I am obsessed with affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is when you promote other companies' products and earn a commission on sales generated through your referral links. I have been an affiliate marketer for years and years and years, and I can confidently say that strategic brand partnerships make up a significant part of our income. It is the best because I am basically just getting paid to share what I love. I don't have to create the products. I don't have to do customer service. I don't have to deliver them. I don't have to handle any of that. And I get to share things and people that I love with you. It's like literally the best. So when I read this stat, my mind was absolutely blown. But 81% of brands use affiliate marketing to boost brand awareness and to drive sales. 81%. There are so many opportunities out there for you to naturally share the things you use and love and make money doing that. According to a study done by Authority Hacker, affiliate programs are the most important client acquisition method for 40% of US firms. So there is a good chance that your favorite companies are looking for brand ambassadors or affiliates, and you could step in. And guess what? It is very little risk. I will argue you should be a paying customer before you become an affiliate to really show that you love this company and you love these products. But take a look around your house today. What products, what things are you using and loving that you would like to recommend? Those brands likely have an affiliate program that you can benefit from. This is a perfect fit for you if you enjoy sharing products you love with friends and family, if you enjoy testing out different products, if you have a loyal following. It doesn't have to be a big following. We're seeing a ton of micro influencers crush it. And of course, if you already use the products that you love. You really don't need much to get started. You pretty much need your phone and a way to communicate what you love with the people you love. Now, if you want to learn more about affiliate marketing, tune into episode 722. I'm linking up all of these episodes in the show notes. This is called Hearing About Affiliate Marketing. Here's everything you need to know. Again, it'll be linked up for you. This is a great episode to listen to if you want to get into affiliate marketing. I will never forget an anniversary trip that Drew and I took years ago where we drove the Pacific Coast Highway from LA to San Francisco. And I was so excited because I was in charge of booking the Airbnbs for the trip. And after looking through all of our options, I found the one. Found this farmhouse where we could rent out a room and wake up and collect our own eggs for breakfast in the morning, feed their alpacas, and play with their goats. When we arrived at this Airbnb, the hosts were there waiting for us with a chilled bottle of wine. They showed us our room and bathroom, and then they gave us a tour of their farm. Now, looking back, that trip planted a seed for us to dream about owning our own rental property and not overcomplicating the process. Since then, we've become real estate lovers and super hosts on Airbnb, and honestly, it is one of my favorite parts of my job. Now, something that people don't realize is that you don't necessarily need an investment property to do this. You can create an Airbnb revenue stream from your own home or even host a single room in your house. Your home might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.com/host. Number 7, becoming an accountant or a bookkeeper. Now, both accounting and bookkeeping play a super important financial role in business, but according to a Business News Daily, there is a difference between the two. So, bookkeeping is a direct record of all purchases and sales your business conducts, while accounting is a subjective look at what that data means for your business and your cash flow strategies. So, an accountant can be considered a bookkeeper, but a bookkeeper can't be an accountant without proper certifications. Just wanted to add that clarity. Now, if you are someone who is really good with numbers, a bookkeeping job might be in your future. According to ZipRecruiter, their average salary nationwide is $24 per hour. Now, if you are someone who enjoys numbers, if you are very organized, and if you already are familiar with bookkeeping or accounting software from owning a business or having a previous job, this would be such a great fit for you. You need a computer, an internet connection, and any necessary software that you might need. Again, some of your clients might already be using this software and just passing off their login information for you to use and get into. Now, one of the things I will say, the best thing I ever did, if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't want to be an accountant, hire an accountant. Before I had even made a single penny in my business, I hired an accountant. I will never forget, I drove by this little brick building in the tiny village in Wisconsin that we lived in. I set up an appointment and started working on a business plan. Those accountants were in my life and my business for over a decade. And so every entrepreneur needs to have or should have an accountant or a bookkeeper. Chances are you don't like that part of your business. And so if you are someone who excels at that, you can offer those services and really help out. Also, funny story. When I was in high school, my first job was cleaning limousines for the small limo company operated out of somebody's home. And I will never forget, he asked me if I could help him with his bookkeeping. And I was in high school at the time. And he brought in a garbage bag full of receipts. And I had to go through and itemize and tally up all those receipts for his taxes. And so I'm just saying bookkeeping is something that a lot of business owners need help with. And so if you're good with numbers and you enjoy organizing them, it could be a great fit. Okay. Number 8 is being a writer, an editor, or a proofreader. Now, all of these positions can help create and edit content and media of all different types, from resumes to social media captions to blog posts and everything in between. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, there is a high demand for this job. Editors make on average of $31 per hour and copywriters make $37. If you are a natural wordsmith, you have an attention to detail. If you are a part of the grammar police, which I know a lot of my listeners are, and you have great creativity and imagination, this might be a really good fit for you. You just need a computer, an internet connection, and any necessary software such as Google Docs or Microsoft Word. We love and know a lot of proofreaders out there. We get emails from you guys. I love you for it. Thank you so much. Done is better than perfect is how I've always operated, but you guys help me get closer to perfect. This is such a great position for people that are natural writers or really good with grammar. And I will argue that like AI can do a lot of things, but AI is not good at adding into human voice. And so for a lot of people, they're recognizing that need for humanness and to bring that into the fold. And so being an excellent writer, editor, or proofreader could be a really great way to have a startup company without a lot of expense, just using your natural gifts. Okay, number 9, selling digital products. So I have been doing this for years and years and years using Shopify. I love Shopify. One of the things that I've learned, especially for digital products, is it is not a huge risk to make a product and sell it online. You are mostly spending your time, not your money, to get started, very similar to the watercolor art. I think selling digital products is genius. It also shows you what your audience is actually willing to spend money on. And again, it's not a super heavy lift from the beginning. It's just mostly spending your time and then just marketing it. So if you love the marketing side of things more than you love the creation, you can create something and market it for years and years and years and make an income from that. And obviously, this is where you can create and sell digital products. You can sell ebooks, printables, software, presets, templates. Like there's a million different things you can sell that are digital, meaning you don't have to have a physical inventory or be going to the UPS store to ship things out. Conservative estimates place spending on digital products at $135 billion alone for 2024. Digital products accounted for 3% of all U.S. consumer spending in 2023. Now, in 2020 alone, over 2 billion consumers purchased digital products. So there is definitely a market for you to sell digital products. This might be a great fit for you if you want to share your knowledge with people on the internet, if you love putting together information, if you like creating content for others to see, and if you've already created content in the past and it's just sitting there. This could be like school teachers, therapists, virtual assistants. If you have created something in your business that might help other people also in a similar business, there's a really good chance that you could have an awesome and successful digital product shop. A lot of my friends have them. And so just consider what that looks like. And you don't really need much to get started. You need your computer, an internet connection, and you might need some sort of like graphic design software. Canva is free. You could have a website host. You could use a store like Shopify. That's what we use and love. But again, low startup costs, you can get good rewards, and you can start to really get valuable insight as to what your audience, even if it's really small, is willing to spend money on. Okay. Number 10, to wrap us up, graphic and web design. So back in the day, I was an HTML queen. Does anyone remember the MySpace days? I was the girly who was always out there trying to make my MySpace really interesting and pretty. I was like putting pictures of gymnasts in my sidebar and all the things I loved. Like I was hacking the HTML coding of MySpace back in the day. And when I first got started on WordPress, I had to figure out how to use these different templates, customize them. And I ended up helping other photographers get their websites off the ground. It was not something I marketed. It was something where people would be like, hey, how'd you get this website? And I'm like, I can do it for you. Here's how much it costs. And I was literally building people's websites for them. So that's kind of a fun fact about me as a side hustle. This could totally work for you. So there are graphic designers who are creating graphics and assets, and then web designers who are designing web pages. So there's a little differentiation there. But as of May 2023, the median annual salary for graphic designers was around $59,000. This is an awesome freelance job that you can do from anywhere if you have a great eye for graphic or web design and you enjoy working with people virtually. You just need a computer, an internet connection, and of course, any software that you might need. Okay. That's going to wrap us up. I hope that this inspires you and gets some creative juices flowing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love this idea of you dipping your toe into the business world. And I know how intimidating it can be to get started, especially when you have to invest, especially when you have this idea and all you can think about is what it's going to cost. Maybe you can start your entrepreneurial journey with something that I've mentioned today to get your feet wet, to get you into the game, to get you to start seeing that you have the potential to earn money while working from home using the gifts and talents that you have acquired throughout your lifetime. I have loved my journey through entrepreneurship, and I have literally leveraged all of these services. So I am probably your dream customer because I would pay for all of these things and do pay for them and so much more. And it excites me to think of how many people's lives could be changed if they were finally able to make their business dreams a reality. I know for so many, the lack of funds can be a frustrating barrier to entrepreneurship, but I really hope this episode inspires you to take what little you might have and make something incredibly beautiful out of it. And I cannot wait to support you on that journey. Until next time, goal diggers, keep on dreaming and digging your biggest goals. And I hope you get started today. Thanks for pulling up a seat for another episode of the Goal Digger Podcast. I hope today's episode fueled you with inspiration, gave you information that you can turn into action, and realigned you with your true north in life and business. If you've enjoyed today's episode, head on over to goaldiggerpodcast.com for today's show notes, discount codes for our sponsors, freebies to fuel your results, and so much more. And if you haven't yet, make sure you're subscribed so that you never miss a future show. We'll see you next time, Goal Diggers.